Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of On Deck. I'm Russ Morgan on FTSN. I'm Russ Morgan. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday night. Well, a lot of things are going on after the trade deadline. Definitely had a fun deadline. You know, we had a lot of good moves go down. Obviously, the Suarez, Eugenio Suarez was the big move to the Mariners. That was the big move to the Mariners. That was one that definitely helped that offense out big time. They definitely need some pop in that lineup. So that was a big one. I mean, the Yankees had a productive trade deadline. Unfortunately, it hasn't been going too well so far. But I mean, you get David Bendar, you get Duvall from the Giants, Bendar from the Pirates, you get McMahon, you get Brian McMahon, who was a little before the deadline. You get Ahmed Rosario that day before was a big pickup. You get was it Jose Caballero, I think it is, from the Rays. You get Jake Bird, who got DFA'd quick. The Bendar one for the Yankees was big, but I mean, he had some big moves with early on Mets making moves, picking up Helsley, picking up Soto from the Orioles. You get Mullins from the Orioles too, and then Phillies. They get Joaquin Duran, and you get Harrison Bader. So there's some big moves. Merrick Kelly goes to the Rangers. Was another good one that I didn't see coming to the Rangers. I saw that coming. I didn't see it. Shane Bieber, who it's a pretty good pickup, I think, for giving up so little for the Blue Jays, who are cruising right now, up 3 games. They say 3.5. I'm done with the 3.5. What the fuck's it? Excuse me. Excuse my language. Sorry. What the heck's a half game? They're at the end of the day. They all play 162, and everybody's gonna have the same, win-loss. Everyone's gonna either have play the same amount of games. So I mean, they're 3 up. I think that Bieber deal was solid for them because it's a low risk, high reward. Obviously, the Padres made the big splash. I mean, you get. Not to mention, you get Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano from the Orioles for 6 prospects. That gives them some pop. That maybe makes Gavin Sheets a DH or 3 back. Right now, 2.5, 3 back of the Dodgers could be. I guess 2.5. I think the Dodgers, I got to change the Dodgers lost today, so I got to update my standings. It might be 2 back. As of now, to the Dodgers. So, I mean, they'll be 2 back with the win today, if they win today. I mean, that was a big one. You give up 6 prospects. I really like the Bieber deal, not as a Yankees fan, because I think that helps them a lot. But I think that's just a low risk, high reward. I mean, Mariners get Suarez. They give up a couple good prospects. The big one was the Astros reacquiring Carlos Correa from the Twins. Twins would be paying $33 million. Correa returns to Houston. Correa, who was on a 6-year, $200 million deal, runs through 2028 and includes 3 Cubs options. Had a no-trade clause, but decided to rejoin the Astros. Sounds like when Pena's coming back, he's going to be a third. He's going to move to third with Paredes being, sounds like it was pretty severe hamstring injury. Obviously, the big deal of the trade deadline. It was Padres acquire Mason Miller and J.P. Sears. The Miller one was really, it's a really good backhand, and that Padres bullpen looks really strong. JP Sears got optioned down, but they gave up a good amount of prospects. Paid a steep price for Mason Miller, controllable through 29. But I mean, you send off number 3 overall prospect Leo DeVries, I think is how you say your name, Brandon Nets, Henry Bays, and Nunez. DeVries, I think, is only 18. I think he's only 18, already in single A, already doing pretty solid. So that was a pretty good pickup. But obviously the key of this episode today is what's going on with my New York Yankees. Obviously, thank God they won today. 3 back of the Red Sox for that first wild card drop to the third spot right now. They're in the 3rd wild card as a game back. Same win, game back of the Mariners. Squeaked out a win today. Thank God. 3-2 David Bendar 42 pitch save. Had to give everything he had to beat that Rangers team because it's looked god awful. And I know Judge goes down, but I know if you watch this channel, I'm going to talk about every team. I'm a diehard Yankees fan, and I'm done with Aaron Boone. I'm done with Aaron Boone. I'm sorry. I know I can't put the full blame on him, but I think it might be an organizational thing with the Yankees. If there's Yankees fans in there or baseball fans in general, throw a comment in what we think on Aaron Boone, on that organization. I think it's an organizational thing, but the brunt of the force would go down to Cashman and go down to Aaron Boone. I don't think he gives the players too much leeway. I had something in my head and it sounded good in my head, and then I tried to spit it out and it didn't sound as good. But I just think he's weak on the players. He gives the players too much leeway. He's a players coach, but at the end of the day, I don't think that's working. There's too many little mistakes. If I got to hear another Boone press conference where he says, oh, he won't make that mistake again, but, it just can't happen. I've seen it 5 times. I got a video here I was watching. 5 freaking times this happened. Grisham, top 5. Grisham strikes out, and then Dominguez just sleeping a second, gets hosed out at 3rd. Not to mention what happened the last 2 games. And then you got Wells getting picked off and Volpe just kind of getting there, stuck in no man's land. And then you got Vivas, who's not sliding at 3rd. And then it comes down to, the other day against the Rays, Wells forgets how many outs there are, and Grisham tries to put down a bunt down the 3rd baseline. He gets thrown out at first. Wells just kind of forgets the outs, wanders off second base, and gets out. And then you have Jazz Chisholm, who is a pop up to second base, far off the bag, like something's going to happen. I understand players drop it to get the double play, but I'm like, if the player drops it, just, Grisham's running the first, just take the out. So, I don't think it's too much, no accountability with these players. And I know what a lot of Yankees fans are saying, that I have two things. I think Boone needs to go. He's too much. I think he got hired. Joe Girardi got fired for Aaron Boone after making the ALCS and almost making the World Series in 2017, down to 1 game where they lose 3-2. he gets fired because he didn't have enough connection to the younger players. Where you bring in Boone now, he's got too much connection to young players. I remember going back seeing Girardi, who Aaron Boone loved this guy. He's not a good defensive catcher. Gary Sanchez, the amount of times I had to hear Aaron Boone talk about, well, Gary Sanchez, yeah, he struggles sometimes defensively, but he can hit a home run. You go back to Girardi, and it was like, hey, he's got to work on some things catching. He's not going to be in the lineup if he's not doing a good job defensively. Aaron Boone, home runs is mad. I mean, I just don't think the accountability with the players is there. I think you got to pull. Stupid mistake by Jazz. You don't get off on that. You got to pull him. Make a statement. My problem with Boone is he makes no adjustments in the game. No adjustments. No switching the lineup up. Yankees lose 5 in a row. Get swept by the Marlins. First time Marlins swept the Yankees in franchise history. Every day he's running out the same lineup. Why don't we put in Rosario? You get this guy, he's sitting on the bench. He was batting 271 in Washington. Why don't you switch it up? I don't know. He runs out the same freaking lineup every day. You throw Volpe at short. There's too many mental mistakes, too many defensive mistakes. The little things you got to do in baseball to succeed that we saw watching the Marlins up 6-4, see if they can at least salvage the series and get one after that sweep with the Yankees. Just the little things you got to do that the Yankees don't do well. It's very frustrating to see a guy week in and week out. Oh, well, that can't happen, but, it won't happen again. Well, it happens regularly, and I know. I can't blame Boone. The Marlins thing pissed me off because Boone literally pulls Jazz in. Well, okay, he pulls the first base coach in and he yells at him in front of public and then pulls Jazz to the clubhouse. Like it was the first base coach's fault Jazz did that. I mean, there's just no accountability with there. And I know I can't – I think it's an organizational thing. I think baseball is – I love Cashman. I love Cash, but I think baseball's starting to pass him up a little bit. I mean, in the last 25 years, they have 2 World Series and haven't won a World Series in 2 decades, almost 2 decades, and since 2009. It's been 15 years with that payroll. So, I mean, I don't know if you can blame all Boone. But I think because he's the manager, he should get the brunt. He definitely should get the brunt of that. I think it's got to come down to Cashman and Boone and start fresh because there's no accountability. Players keep on making those little mistakes that losing this team ball game with a $300+ million payroll with one of the best generational hitters we're going to see in this decade, the last decade. This could be the best offensive hitter we've ever seen. We're wasting his time. And he plays great defense, I will add. Judge plays, but it's just I'm really trying not to swear. I'm really trying not to swear. No freaking accountability. No lineup changes. He runs. I like Austin Wells, but I think his time is up. I think his time is up. He doesn't hit. Yes, he hits a home run here and there, maybe a double, but behind the plate he's not that strong. Makes mental mistakes. I can't have a guy who's going to come up there and bat 218 and maybe hit a home run. Maybe they go with Ben Rice. Is Ben Rice good enough to catch it? I don't know, but maybe his bat's better there. Maybe they bring up J.C. Escarra, who was as known as a defensive catcher. What was it? I think his nickname was the Hialeah Rocket. Went to, from Hialeah, went to FIU there. I'm not 100% sure where FIU is. I think is it Boca Raton or Miami Gardens? I know all my people will FIU, Westchester, Florida. Westchester, Florida. Westchester, Florida. I don't know. Somewhere in Miami. I know all my people on FTSN will correct me on that. But I mean, he was known as a defensive catcher. Maybe they give him a shot. He's a nice left-handed bat, can do a little damage, make some contact. We live it. I mean, I get frustrated with Volpe. Nothing he can do there. The Yankees passed up on Swanson. They passed up on Seager. His defense is there. He's starting to hit the ball a tad better, which maybe he's picking it up, but mental mistakes for him. I just don't see adjustments for Boone, and I don't think he holds the players accountable enough. The reason he got in is because he can relate to these guys. Well, he's not relating to them anymore. It's not there. I get it. He's winning. He's getting into the playoffs. Any Yankees fans in there, we think Yankees miss the playoffs, Boone's done. Cashman done. Anybody. I think if they miss the play, my opinion is you at least make it. I give him Ryan Day treatment this year. With the payroll and the roster he has, I give him Ryan Day treatment. I'm a college football fan. I said, if Ryan Day doesn't win the national title, he's done, especially because he couldn't beat Michigan. My opinion, he's done. If you don't win the World Series, he's done. This team ain't winning the World Series. The bullpens looked absolutely miserable. I get it. Devin Williams was one of the, if not the best reliever last year. But my problem with Devin Williams is, yes, he gave up Nestor Cortez. He gave up Caleb Durbin, who's looking like an NL Rookie of the Year candidate, who would have been that starting third baseman. And we could have held on to some of those prospects and got another pitcher. But, I mean, he's done. Now I know what Yankees – I know Yankees fans are clamoring. The problem I see with firing Boone is, will they bring in a yes man? I hope they learn their lesson. They can't bring a yes man in who's just going to do what it is. He plays too much analytics. I don't want to hear he can do this. He can hit a home run. Play too much analytics. I think they got to bring in a guy who's going to be tough on the players because they need it. They don't need this guy to be their friend. I mean, a couple names. Eric Chavez, hitting coach for the Mets, would be one. He's played in New York, has vocalized he wants to be a head coach. Maybe a Carlos Beltran. Maybe Mike Scioscia, but I mean, I do think the problem is with the Yankees is an organizational thing. And if Boone goes and they bring in another guy like Boone, it's not much better. I don't know. I don't know. I'm done with Boone after that World Series. I'm done with him now. He doesn't make adjustments. But, that's my Yankees rant. I'm trying not to get too fried. This team is driving me nuts. And I don't know. I think Boone's got to go. I think Cashman's got to go. I think it's an organizational thing, Hey, Ronald, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. How we doing tonight? We're talking a little Yankees and Aaron Boone. If you have any comments, I think Boone's done if they don't win the World Series, and it won't happen. It won't happen. But I think he's done. I was going back. I don't think he's getting fired. Unfortunately, I've wanted Boone for a while. I think he's too analytical. I think he's gives to too much players a little leeway. Doesn't make too much adjustments. But I don't think he's done. I think it's an organizational thing. I think they both got to be fired. I remember going back with Didi Gregorius. Gregorius was rehabbing in 2019, so he's making his minor league rehab starts, and he comes back up and he goes, "You see what's happening in the minor leagues?" He goes down there. He goes, "They're not teaching the fundamentals. They're not teaching the little things. It's all about exit velo and hit ring. You got to play the little things." But I'm frustrated. I think he's done. I don't think he's done. I'd like to see him gone after last year. But I like Cashman. I think Cashman, he might be done. He had a nice 20-plus year run with the Yankees. But, getting off the Yankees, Blue Jays, best record in the AL, 67-48 right now. There's 2 games – or no, excuse me, not 2 games up on the Red Sox. 3 games up on the Red Sox. I think it's their division to win. The Red Sox playing really hot baseball right now. See what they're doing. Really hot baseball right now. Obviously, Red Sox won 7 in a row since making that adjustment. Down up 2-0. Michael Yastrzemski just hit a ground rule double, up 2-0 right now. They're playing really hot baseball. You make that move. The Red Sox make that move that, obviously you pick up Dustin May, who is a guy with some high upside, a lot of movement on the ball. I think that could be a really good acquisition for the Red Sox. You make the move of putting Jared Duran in center field. You put Cedar Rafael as second base. You put Roman Anthony in left where he probably should be. They're playing really good baseball right now. You got a really solid defensive catcher, Carlos Narvaez, all-star, good offensive catcher. First base, a little question. Bregman comes back. Bregman was a guy I wanted for the Yankees. I love Alex Bregman, what he brings defensively, Gold Glove there. It's great. Obviously, with the Red Sox, you sign your big superstar, your big young guy, Roman Anthony, 8 years, $130 million, could get up to $230. Great sign for that because all signs are pointing up for this kid. And so it's kind of funny how much I remember when I first started this show. I think last year, so almost going on 2 years now. My co-host Rob Mosley, is a Red Sox fan. And he's talking. He lives in Miami, and we're talking about Rome. He's talking Roman Anthony. This is last year. He goes. He's from Stoneman Douglas High School. I'm talking Roman Anthony a year later. I go. I'm pretty sure he's from Stoneman Douglas, which is, I don't know where, somewhere in Miami, but obviously everybody, it's unfortunately a famous school for the wrong reason, but a great, athletic program. But they're scary right now, playing good baseball, hitting the ball really well, up 2-1 in the top of the third. Come on, Vinny. Oof. The movement on Dustin May's got some serious movement on that. But 7 in a row, good. Tigers, 66-49, 6-4 in the last 10, 66-50. But on a 2-game losing streak, the Guardians beat the Mets today. Swept the Mets, They're 6 back, but playing really hot baseball of late. Just a scrappy team. Houston. Did they end up losing? I thought they took the first 2. Houston right now 64-51, ended up taking 2-3 from the Marlins. Mariners 61-53, 6-4 in the last 10. 2-game win streak. I'm going to check what Suarez and Naylor are doing on. Suarez batting 150. Josh Naylor batting 244. Naylor 41 at bats, 244. 2 home runs. Suarez 1 home run and 20 at bats, batting 150. But, I mean, I think when those guys get going, you got a lot of pop in that lineup. Rangers, who ended up losing today, were 60-55, but I think that Merrick Kelly's going to pick it up. Phillies holding on to that first seed in the NL East, excuse me. I think that Duran pickup was great, 65-49. 3 games up on the Mets. 5-5 in the last 10 did lose today. Mets 63-52. Have lost 4 games in a row, and definitely Gavin Williams did have a no-hitter through 8, did get broken up in the 9th. Brewers right now, we'll speak a little Marlins. Marlins play. I'll speak a little later on the Marlins because I know my people would like to hear that on FTSN. I like what's going on there, but Brewers 69-44, 8-2 in the last 10, 5-game win streak. Really like what the Brewers are doing over there. That's just a scrappy team. Not a lot of flashy, high-profile guys, but you got Kristen Yelich, you got Jackson Torino's down right now. I mean, you got Caleb Durbin, you got Joey Ortiz, you get Brandon Woodruff back, you have Miroski. So, I mean, I like what they're doing there. You got the Cubs, who are right now first wild card, 66-48, 3.5 back, 5-5 in the last 10. Reds right there, 60-55, ended up losing today. Dodgers 66-49, 5-5 in the last 10. You do it. Something's going on with Dodgers too. I mean, you lose 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals. I mean, they're not playing great baseball right now either. I mean, and you take 2 out of 3 from the Rays. You got a tough series coming up this weekend with the 3-game set against the Blue Jays, which will be a solid pitching matchups. Kershaw. So I mean, Friday night, 10 Eastern. You got 2 Hall of Famers going up. You got Kershaw and Scherzer, and then you got Saturday. You got Blake Snell, Bassett, and then Sunday not as good with Yamamoto and Laurel. But that's some two games with some really solid pitching matchup. And then you got, the Angels. Then you got, on the 15th, I'm really looking forward to that. You got 3 games set against the Padres, who are right now Padres, going back only 2 games back as of now in of the division, and we know what the Padres did at the deadline. 63-51, 8-2 in the last 10. I mean, you pick up Mason Miller, you pick up O'Hearn, you pick up Laureano. O'Hearn not doing great so far. You get Freddie Furman, who's a big plus for them because they needed catching bad, and he's batting .333, 12 at bats. I mean, Laureano, who's .364 and 22 at bats. I think that catcher I think that Furman was kind of a sneaky move because you kind of have a question mark with Diaz, who's batting .201, and Maldonado, who's just not getting it done. Pitching wise, I mean, you got that bullpen is stacked, and I said it before. I wouldn't say I get it. The Dodgers on paper should walk away with this division, and I even said it when I first got. I don't think they're gonna before the season. It's a walk away. Dodgers are going to win it by 5-6 games. I think it's going to be really close. They have some really good pitching. You got Nick Pivetta. You're going to get Michael King back. If you got Yamamoto back, we'll Cease figure it out. Who's 4-10, a high ERA, but Pivetta 2.73 ERA, looking like a steal of 11-3. That was looking like a steal. I mean, if Michael King when he comes back, who's That's going to be solid. And Darvish, who just got back, who's 1-3, high ERA. Let's see what Mason Miller has thrown in 2 games, 2 innings pitched. Two ERA, 3 hits, 2 runs. Gave up 1 home run yesterday. 104 off the 104. Who was it? Luis Gurriel Jr. 104 off the bat off a 104 pitch home run yesterday. Little oppo right field bomb off Mason Miller. But I mean, this is a sneaky team. I mean, this bullpen you got is. I mean, you got Suarez got 32 saves. You got Adrian Mohan. I mean, I'd watch out for this team. Only 2 back. I'll be a big series next weekend with the Padres. I don't think it's. I think that's going to be a big. I'm really looking forward to that. I really hope those games are all on TV. Because I really want to watch all those games. That's going to be a great series. So obviously, watching, obviously I had all 3 Yankees games on last week. Frustrated watching the Yankees, but as a baseball fan, I'm watching the Marlins. And I like some of these young players they got. I really like Kyle Stowers. I've liked him since his time at Stanford. 293. But the one guy who really, really impressed me on that team they brought up was what was his name? Who's their center fielder they just brought up? Jacob Marzi. Spent 438, 16 at-bats. But the one thing that really jumped out to me from this kid is his plate discipline. I mean, the amount of pitches that kid saw as a guy who loved working a count as a player. Being really frustrated because my Yankees looked like absolute crap. That was shit. I mean, you lose a 9-2 lead and then a 12-10 lead and then blow it like that. But that guy really impressed me for a young player. The plate discipline, that guy saw like 22 pitches his first game. And his first 3 hits was like double, triple. So, I mean, I was really impressed with that. I think some of these young – I don't think playoffs for them are in their cards, but I think they kind of narrowed their timeline down. I like some of the young players, and obviously you didn't trade Cabrera. You didn't trade Sandy Alcantara. But I think it's a lot closer. But – I mean, after a trade deadline, I'm frustrated. The Yankees looking terrible. Aaron Boone will be there next year, no problem. But you can basically guarantee it. He'll be there next year. But on that note, I try not to get too frustrated. But I think something's got to change in the organization. And it could be Cashman and Boone, and it might not all be Boone's fault, but he's the manager and it's going to take the brunt of the criticism. Him and Cashman, he's the guy that there's to the face of the organization. So I don't know. I'm trying not to swear and lose my mind. I probably will lose my mind more, but something's got to change in the organization, and it could be Boone, it could be Cashman, that could be it. But I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. Please remember, like and subscribe FTSN. I'm Russ Morgan. This is On Deck on FTSN. I hope everybody has a great night.